Hi, welcome to Business Influencers. I'm your host, Chris Salem. Hope everybody is having a great week. And this is your first time here. Welcome. Hope that you are enjoying many of the great episodes here with Business Influencers, in addition to other shows here on the TALRadio platform. We are excited to say we've been around now for almost 5 years with TALRadio since they kicked this off back during COVID, and we pioneered their business channel. And I can honestly say that, again, it has been exciting to be the host of many great subject matter guests that we've had over the years, and why we continue to come back because of you and helping to take your influence to the next level. If there was content that you'd like to see on a future show, feel free to reach out to our team here at chris@christophersalem.com, and we'll make sure to accommodate for a future episode. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet new people for the first time. Now, it is a membership program taking out all the noise out of social media. You get to generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact with. If you'd like some more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, I'm excited today. As always, we have a great show today. And this is really something that we're going to be talking about that really aligns with everything that we do here for the Touch of Life Foundation. As everyone knows, we're a philanthropic organization dedicated to aligning with other nonprofits, doing worthy causes to help others in the world and the missions that they stand by. And we're here today. I'm going to be with Mark, the Be Great Guy Papadis. He is all about I Am for Kids, and that is today's subject that we're going to talk about, I Am for Kids. And a little bit of background about Mark. Mark is an award-winning speaker, author, and the visionary behind I Am for Kids, the groundbreaking program revolutionizing how we empower children from the inside out. Often described as Tony Robbins meets Charlie Brown, Mark blends the science of mindset with the heart of childhood wonder. He brings over 2 decades of experience in personal development, having shared stages alongside icons like Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, and others to help kids strengthen confidence, emotional resilience, and self-leadership. Now, I could keep going on, and he's also got a book that's going to be coming out, and he's going to be sharing that as well. And you also want to be able to check Mark's signature talk, 10 Secrets to Empower Kids and Awaken the Child Within You. But you're going to learn all about Mark here. And without further ado, we welcome Mark Papadis to the show. Mark, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. So, Mark, let's do like we always like to start where this all started. What brought you to bringing this this mission about I Am for Kids and really being a resource for kids to have a voice. What brought you here? Give us the background, and our listeners would love to hear that, because we're all about influence and all about giving back.
Well, great, and it's actually it's a funny story to a certain extent. Like you said, I've been a glutton for personal development pretty much my entire life. I can't tell you the last novel that I read, but I'm always reading, watching, listening to something to either make myself better or something that I can pass on to the kids. And for over about over 12 years prior to the night of my epiphany, the night I call my divine download, I was a personal development coach and a sales trainer for the so-called grown-ups. And a little bit of backdrop on that is that there was something that it took me a while to realize, but I was born with the gift of being able to connect instantly with kids. I think they just realize I'm just a much bigger version of them, kind of thing. So I'd been teaching this type of stuff to my kids literally since they were in the womb. I was always coaching youth sports, etc., and rarely did a season go by when somebody wouldn't say, it's like, what did you do with Tommy? He just seems a little different. He's more confident. You're like, it's just what I do, kind of thing. Just kind of played it off because that's not what I was doing, right? I was working with the grown-ups. And there was a specific night where I was with a bunch of the coaches from my son's football team. And one of them came over and just started going off on this positive rant about my son, about he's coachable, he's a leader, he's going on and on, all these great things. And then I did something that we all do, but nobody ever admits to, where he was still talking, but I kind of checked out of the conversation. And I remember thinking to myself, it's like, wouldn't it be great if everybody could have these types of conversations about their kids? It's like, what could I do about that? And then I realized he was still talking. So I shook it off and I re-engaged. But I know that was the spark for what happened later that night. When I got home, I was in bed and I was in that stage of sleep before you hit REM. And all of a sudden it was just came to me. It's like, dummy, you know this stuff. All you have to do is take what you're teaching and put it into a format that will engage and entertain kids, and you could literally change their lives. And that's when, it's like in the movies, when the beam of light comes shining through the window kind of stuff. It literally that's kind of like what, I can't tell, I'm getting goosebumps kind of going back to that night where it just started to download into my head. And unlike those times when you have a great idea and you're going to write it down in the morning, I immediately got up, went downstairs, got a legal pad. About 6 hours later, probably about 80% of what I am for kids is today came from that night. And that's when I realized that's my mission, my purpose for being here.
Wow, thank you for explaining that. And I hope the listeners that when you hear that story, Mark, maybe perhaps that's something that could happen to you, or maybe has already began to happen in terms of something that you've been just called to do. It's always been in you, and you've just let other things hold you back. So, let those words that Mark shared be an inspiration for you to do the same. So, Mark, walk us through, what are some of the things, when you came up with this concept, I Am for Kids, what you just shared, what were some of the, challenges that you felt that kids face, whether if it's, how they grow up, how they're being raised in this so-called crazy world that we do live in today?
Well, it's multifold. That's the biggest part about it. But the key of what we talk about, and hence the name of the brand and the company and everything that we're starting off, is the I am. Because every single person, whether it's people our age, whether it's a little kid, we all have I am statements. How do we finish the thought? I am, right? And the problem is most people, again, it doesn't matter whether you're talking to a kid or an adult, have never given it any conscious thought. So generally speaking, it's the loudest voices that are in our orbit that imprint that upon us. It's like one of the quotes that I use a lot and people seem to love is that the children are like wet cement, in that whatever happens to fall upon them tends to stick and leave an impression. So what we have to do as the adults in that universe is we've got to set the better example for not just how we talk to them, because a lot of times what we say to them isn't what sticks with them. It's what they observe us doing during the times when we're stressed, right? When we're under pressure, right? Or sometimes when we're not, do we live up to what we expect them to do in those times when it's not? So there's so many different things now from when we were younger with social media and all those different types of things. There's so many more of what we call the monsters, the comparison monsters, the bullies, all those different types of things that are in that kid's life. So to go back to that cement analogy, we want that cement to cure. We want that to harden, so that by the time they're forced to really make some of those decisions that they have to make when they get into middle school and high school, that those bad influences just bounce right off.
Wow, that's fabulous. I love what you're doing there. And I know a lot of people, not only our listeners, but even the people that work with the Touch of Life Foundation will definitely be moved by what you share. What would you say, expanding what you shared there, where what you're talking about, why this is going to be so important in developing our kids? Because again, a lot of families are the family dynamics have shifted, and a lot of times both parents are working, and sometimes these kids are just not getting that attention. They're getting attention from everything else. They're getting it for online and all these other places. And so with what you're doing, share how this can really help them, not only as kids, but as they become adults. And I'm sure that again, they'll they'll be better examples and resources for their own children as they grow up.
Well, you just touched on it right at the very end there, in that the vast majority of adults are still carrying around the scars and imprints from when they were kids. And unbeknowingly, they pass those down to the kids, almost like a genetic trait, like eye color or something like that, because that's all that they know, right?
Yeah.
So I think to a certain extent, we're not going to be able to change society, right? So we're not going to be able to say, okay, you got to stay home and work. But I think when we were talking about the saying that words have meaning, I think that maybe what we need to do is to not so much replace, but think of less about the attention and more about the intention. So the time that you do have with your kids, be intentional, be present, be there, not for them, but be there with them. Because you're not going to be able to quit your job unless you win the lottery or something like that. But you really got to have that intention in your attention.
Yeah, so true. So true. Wow. Powerful. And the thing is that, it's great to know that there's resources out there like what you're doing. So what are some of the things right now that, that you're doing, getting this message out? You're on a podcast like here, you're with business influencers. So I'm sure you're doing podcasts. I know you have a book as well. And what are some of the ways that you're just, getting out there to let people know that, this resource is available to them and their children?
I would say probably the best thing is anything that we can be right now. And what I mean by that is that there's so many channels that are available to reach people these days. And our goal is to be able to reach people in every single one of those. So we're doing a lot of stuff on social media. One of the things that we do every Sunday night, as a matter of fact, it's called our Be Great Family Reset. It's 7 p.m. Eastern every Sunday night. It's a free event. You can go to iamforkids.com and just go sign up for it. And it's literally just talking about being intentional within, not just with the kids, but with the family for who you're going to be this next week. And then next Sunday, we'll talk about what did you do this week, next week. So that's just the way that we're getting people in, no charge. It's all just, being part of the community kind of thing. We've said I've got my book that's coming out. We're also developing a TV show, which is where I really think is going to be the one that's going to take everything international. And it's the world's first animated, reality-based TV show for kids. So it's real stories of real kids who have gone through our I Am for Kids school program that's been in over 37 schools, over 6,000 kids over during our pilots. And it's the impacts that they've made, whether it be in their own lives, communities, and sometimes even beyond. And what we're going to allow to do is, once we get it picked up, is we're going to put it out. It's all going to be out through social media, where parents, teachers can nominate kids to be the stories for next year's episodes. And then we're going to let them vote on them and see which stories they want to hear. And then that child will become an I Am for Kids character in his or her own episode. And that's a legacy that they're going to take with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What an experience. And no, I think that's wonderful. And would that be something that will be on Netflix or Roku, something like that? Or
we're in discussions with Netflix. They're preliminary, so it's not like it's close to being on the air kind of thing. Yep. But the more people hear about it, when I've talked about it like this, we've gotten some other phone calls. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I know. It's probably still early on. Yeah, don't need to go into specific.
Right.
No, it's great. What would you suggest, somebody listening right now, somebody that's hearing this and go, wow, this is great. Maybe, share with us a little bit, just like maybe a macro level, what this program, what it does, what it can do, and so on, really wet the whistle for those listening that might say, hey, this could be for really, really ideal for my child. Okay.
Well, the key to it, like we talked about before, is that I am statement, because that is your identity. So what we're doing is we're building the first identity platform for the future. It's really what it comes down to, because it's not just for the kids; it's for us adults as well.
Yeah.
Identity is what determines everything else.
Yeah.
And so once your identity determines your behavior determines your actions. So that's why the identity piece is the single most important part, and it's a simple 5-step process. And it's the same 5 steps whether you're an adult or whether you're a kid. So it's something that is repeatable. We can start at that young age, but will still grow with you as you grow into your adult self. And it's a simple 5-step process. I'm happy to share it with everybody. Okay?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Please do.
Yeah, the first one is to write it. So again, when we do this with a group, kids or adults, doesn't matter, just given a blank sheet of paper that just says I am on the top of it. So finish that thought. And it's funny, hands go up. What are you looking for? It's like there's no right or wrong answer. However you think you should, use whatever words. You could write a song, you could draw a picture, just whatever it is, okay? So that's when you get that true one that they're thinking over it themselves. So number one is to write it. Step number 2 is to revise and improve it. So we can actually take it and put some simple rules on it in terms of that it has to be present tense, got to be positive language. And when I say positive language, I mean that it can't be I am not something. You're not talking about what you're not, you're talking about who you are, because your brain can understand not. Okay? Just write it, revise and improve it. The third one is to anchor it, to where we actually do a process that literally cements that into the mind-body connection, to where it's not just something that somebody's saying, it's not an affirmation, it literally becomes at a cellular level part of who you are. Step number 4 is to share and synergize it. Okay, it's one thing to think it for yourself, but it's another thing to put that energy out into the world, let people know who you are. And then the synergized part of it is, it kind of goes back to Napoleon Hill and the whole mastermind concept is that, birds of a feather tend to flock together. Yeah. So if I'm putting out that this is who I am, I'm going to attract more people who are like that, and that's going to become my tribe. And then together, when we start sharing ideas and doing things, everything just gets bigger, better, stronger, brighter, faster, kind of thing, right? And then the last one is to live it, to actually be that person every single day. And the lifelong homework of step number 5 is the participant has to come up with a project that embodies the identity that they just created for themselves. And it could be anything that they want it to be. Only 2 rules. One is it has to be legal, and the second one is that it has to benefit somebody other than just themselves. So they can benefit from it, but somebody else has to as well. Okay.
Well, I like that again, you're teaching, children not to just, you're doing it you have to do it for yourself. You have to fill your cup, but you also want to share it through your example and your resourcefulness as well.
Yeah.
I think that's key. Wow. Wonderful. Love it.
In case you haven't figured it out, I Am for Kids, that's my I Am project.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's why I Am. That's your mission. No, I really think that's great. And right now, you mentioned 36 schools that you have this. These public schools, charter schools, or
the pilot wound up being in 37 public schools. So right now we're about to be launching the full program that can go district wide kind of thing. That's going to be coming out right around the beginning of the school year. So probably around September or so.
Got it. Excellent. All right. No, I think that is wonderful, and because again, this is where what we believe in here at the Touch of Life Foundation, that it requires multiple people like working together to make these things happen. Like what you're doing in conjunction with somebody else, if there's synergy and cohesion, where this can reach more people. So no coincidence why you are on this show here today, sharing these valuable insights. What would you share with anybody here that that might say, like, what about the adults, like in case when they start seeing the changes in their child? I would say that would probably impact them to probably want to even go back and heal their own inner child.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many times I've been approached by parents kind of saying that same thing, is that I said something to my child and they, for lack of a better term, corrected me, right? It's like, no, mommy, you're not stupid. You're just still learning how to do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what? Pattern interrupt. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's their own self-limiting belief that they brought in from their childhood into their adult life. Yeah. And they don't realize that impact they would have had on their child with that had the child not gone through your program.
Exactly.
In this case. Yeah. Wow. It's powerful. I love it. What are some other things that you could share with us, like about the program in terms of it's out there in the public schools? When you create awareness, like obviously you're creating awareness here, are there things that you do, like certain maybe events, things to kind of, at least educate people first and letting them know? Like, I mean, I know that might be hard to do on a mass level, but nonetheless, it starts with wherever you are.
So again, kind of going to the all of the above.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in the schools now, and that was a pilot program. So we've actually taken all of the research and the data that we got from that, and have really built it out to now where it was that program on steroids. So now it literally is ready, so that if every public school, or doesn't matter if it has to be public, that any school in the country wants to do it, that it can scale to that size. Whereas before it was more of a school. So, but in terms of, that's part of where the Be Great Family Reset on Sunday nights is all about, is putting it out there. Obviously, we're a business. We expect to make money, but the mission is what is going to drive that. There's a number of different people, kind of going back to the OGs of personal development, like Earl Nightingale and Zig Ziglar, and talking about that what you reap is in direct proportion to the amount of value that you provide to the world. So that's why I said I have no problem. It's not like my 5-step process. I'll tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
Most people can't do it on their own, which is why they need to come to us.
Yes. Well, that's just it. I mean, they could hear it, but if they have to go through the process and learn from someone that's done it. And it's like with anything, you could try to figure it out on your own, but a lot of times it's better to have that person who's done it and can mentor them. And that's wonderful. Love it. Love what you're doing here. What are some of now you got the book as well, and so share with us a little more insight on that.
Yeah, so it's the book is called Kids First, Always. And it's a novel. It's the fictional story of an elementary school principal who comes up with this idea of teaching kids about I am and all that kind of stuff. So it sounds a little familiar, I know, but it's not autobiographical. But it's been a huge hit so far. I said all the reviews have been great on it, so we're really excited about that, and looking to keep that. Again, this is more of it's a story, and it's designed for the adults to read with their children. So it's not a kid's book. It's not something you're going to read to like a 2 or a 3-year-old. But those times for those of you families who do have the reading time, oftentimes before the kids are going to bed, it's something that you could read over a couple of weeks, and you'll all get some insight out of it. I can promise you that.
Wow, awesome. Well, looking forward. We'll make sure that, again, everybody, that information on Mark's book will also be in the notes as well. So this way you'll all be able to have a link to get a copy of that, about the book. As we near towards the end of the show, Mark, is there anything else that we have not covered that you feel that you would want to make sure the audience leaves with a strong call to action on what you're sharing here and how this can profoundly help so many children?
Well, I would say yes, there is, and the key to that is if you have kids or people that you deal with on a regular basis, and that's where the shirt comes in. Okay, one simple thing that you can do is for example, anytime I end a interaction with a kid or kids, whether it's doing a big assembly or just a one-on-one with coaching with a family, is I always end with telling them to be great. And their response with enthusiasm is, I am.
I am great. Yeah.
Not just I am.
I am.
Okay? And what that does, remember we were talking about with the whole neuroplastic connections, is that one little thing, even if you didn't take anything else, if you never read the book, if you never went through the program, if you implement that one little thing, I can promise you that you will notice a difference within the people that you're doing that with. Once again, kids or adults, doesn't matter. Kids enjoy it a lot more though.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. There's power in that like you said, I am statement. It's very direct. It's not I want or I I need. Those are very dependent type, a statement where I am is very, direct, very interdependent in this case. Very powerful. Yeah. Well, Mark, as we near the end of the show, I want to make sure that the audience has an opportunity to connect with you, get to know you, what you're up to. But before we do that, I wanted to first personally thank you for taking the time to be with us here, not only for myself and the team here at TALRadio, but the entire Touch of Life Foundation. Thank you for taking the time to be on this episode with us.
Oh, it was truly my pleasure.
Thank you. So if you can let the listeners know, where can they contact you? What are you up to, and anything that you'd like to share or offer them?
So there's a few different places. So number one is go to I Am for Kids. I am 4kids.com. Pretty much everything about the program, a lot of information about me, the school programs, our homeschool programs, you name it. That's kind of like the hub, if you will. If you think that I would be a good speaker for your organization, some events that you've got coming up, you can find my speakers page, which is at thebegreatguy.com. Okay, so that's why I'm known as the Be Great Guy. It's because of the thing we were just talking about, right? So you can find me at thebegreatguy.com. I'm all over social media. Most of it is my name, so it would be Mark Papadis, Papadas. Pretty much any of the social media formats, you can find me there. And other than that, I would just say is one of the keys we touched on before is to be intentional with your interactions, whether they be with fellow adults, but most importantly when you're dealing with kids, especially your own, because they are always watching, they are always observing. So if you're giving that bad example, what do you think they're going to do?
So true. So true. Sound advice. Again, we highly recommend that you all reach out and connect with Mark and make sure that, again, this could be an exciting gift that you could be giving your children. And so we encourage everybody that are loyal listeners and those that just this is your first episode with us, reach out to Mark, get to know him, and get more information. I Am for Kids, and also get a copy of his book as well. Well, Mark, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you, and be great, Chris.
Thank you, you as well. And listeners, we want to thank you for being here with us each and every week. Again, we are committed to bringing in subject matter experts like Mark in each and every week to help elevate you and your level of influence to the next level. It's through the power of influence that you can empower people to step into their own greatness and be great, like Mark says, because it's a choice. You have to choose. And that's what we're all about here at Business Influencers. And again, we hope you got a lot of value from today. And again, make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you choose to watch this show. And of course, at our own TALRadio.org platform as well. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we'll be here next week, same date, same time. Take care.